Hello students, how are you? Hope you are taking good care of you and following all the directions, all the precautions to keep you safe. But let me add that we should not forget our studies. So, to help you in that, I will be taking your science subject. And first chapter in our science subject is nutrition in plants. In sixth class, we have studied briefly that plants are autotroph, that is, they prepare their own food in their own body. They synthesize it. So, from that in knowledge, we shall start our this chapter. What is nutrition? First question is, what is nutrition? Of course, this term is in our heading of the chapter, nutrition in plants, so we must know what is nutrition. So by the definition, nutrition means getting nourishment and digesting it is called, all the activities in doing so are called nutrition collectively. So this is the definition of nutrition. We also studied that plants make their own food with the help of water, air and sunlight. But in this class, we will study it in a bit detail. So let us start our chapter. First thing, what and what plant need to prepare its own food. First of all, it needs water, that is H2O. Second, it needs carbon dioxide, CO2, from the air around us. And third, and the most important thing it requires is sunlight. We all know that plants provide us oxygen. Plants are good for reducing the levels of carbon dioxide. How could they do that? They use that carbon dioxide in making their food. And what they do? They convert hydrogen and oxygen from water, oxygen from carbon dioxide and carbon from carbon dioxide into glucose and release oxygen in atmosphere. But how does they do? They do it by chloroplasts. Chloroplast is a special kind of organelle found in plant cells, especially in their leaves and in their young twigs, in their young stems. We have seen leaves, young stems and twigs, they are having green color. That green color is by the virtue of chloroplast. Chloroplast contain a substance called chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is capable of converting carbon, hydrogen and oxygen into glucose in the presence of light. So this synthesis of glycogen from carbon, hydrogen and oxygen is called photosynthesis. Photo means light, synthesis means prepared or synthesize. So this term photosynthesis. To get water, plants have roots. With the help of those roots, plant absorbs water from the soil, and to get carbon dioxide, plant leaves and young stems have some very small, very minuscule pores which are called stomata. These stomata are guarded by two cells which are called guard cells. And through these pores, plants get air from which they separate carbon dioxide and use it. But question arises, well, leaves are here, roots are there. To carry water to the leaves, there is a special kind of system which is called xylem system. That xylem system is made of xylem cells and xylem bundles. This system works just like pipes in our house carrying water from one place to another, or any other water carrying pipe system. They carry water and minerals, soil in this up to the leaves where water, carbon dioxide are used to synthesize glucose. Now this photosynthesis depends on mainly four main factors. First factor is intensity of the light. Intensity of light means if the level of intensity of light is high, rate of photosynthesis will be high. But it has certain limit. After that, no matter what is the level of intensity of light, rate of photosynthesis will not increase. So first factor is intensity of light. Second is nature of light. We all know light is composed of 7 colors. Lights of 7 colors. That is Vibgyor, we know all light. From that, only red light and only blue color light are capable of doing photosynthesis for the plants. So, nature of light. Third is H2O and carbon dioxide. We often see if we do not water a plant, it dies. Why does it happen? Because if we are not watering it, it is not getting water, so it is not able to prepare its food, and so due to the lack of food, due to the lack of nourishment, it dies. Fourth character is temperature. It is found that an optimum temperature is needed for optimum level of photosynthesis. Apart that, there are many minor factors such as concentration of chloroplast in leaves, position of leaves, their climate, etc., and yes, fertilizers or nourishment which could be found in soil. These are other factors. Apart now, what does that plant do with the synthesized glucose? It converts it glucose, then it converts it in starch and stores it in different parts of its own body to be used in future or as and when required. We use that starch for our service. Plant does not make only carbohydrate or glucose, they prepare proteins too. For that purpose, they need another gas also, that is nitrogen. So to prepare protein, they need carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. But plants are not capable of using nitrogen from the atmosphere directly. They cannot just use like that, they use carbon dioxide. They can use nitrogen only if it is converted into some kind of compound such as nitrate. But plants cannot convert it into those minerals for themselves. They need help in that. Mostly there are a certain kind of category that is called nitrogen fixing microbes, which converts atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. Second, lightning. Lightning, we know when it rains We all have seen light. This light converts atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates, which after being absorbed in rainwater falls on the earth and absorbed by soil and then taken by the plant. Many plants, such as legumes, that is pulses, they have nodules in their own roots which they can use, in which there are certain kind of bacteria which is called rhizobacteria, which converts nitrogen into nitrate. So from this they convert it into protein. This protein is used for many functions such as making new cells and many other purposes by the plant or by other animals, heterotrophs, which use that protein for them. For example, we have heard that pulses are rich in protein, so we should eat pulses. From where those pulses get that protein, they synthesize that protein for themselves. But photosynthesis is not the only way from which plants get their nourishment. There are certain category of plants which gets its nourishment from other plants. These are called parasitic plants. For example, dodder, which have hooks and roots, which it sinks in other plants and absorbs nourishment from there. Then there are another category, insect-eating plants, such as pitcher plant, which eats insects. Eats, or we should say, it does not eat properly. Actually, it traps an insect and dissolves it into its certain kind of juices, and then from there it gets its nourishment. So third is that. And fourth is symbiosis. Fourth, symbiosis. In symbiosis, there are certain kind of living organisms which are called fungus. Those living organisms combine with some other living organisms which do not have roots. Fungus has roots, but it doesn't have chloroplast to convert water and carbon dioxide into food, and those with which it is combining, those have chloroplast but they do not have roots, so they can't have their raw material. Both of these combine. Fungus absorbs raw material, that is water and minerals, from the soil or from the surface it is attached to, and it supplies it to its let us say friend or partner, that is plant, to convert it into food, and they both use it. This is called symbiosis. Another category is called saprophytes. Saprophytes are those plants which get nourishment from decaying living organisms such as plants or animals. We have seen mushrooms springing out of decaying vegetables such as fallen tree or fungus or mold on our bread. Those are the examples of saprophytes. All of these get their nourishment from them. But there is one more common thing. If they keep taking their nourishment from the soil doesn't have an unending source of those nutrients, so we need to replenish soil. To replenish soil, there are many methods. First method is manure. Manure is anything which is prepared by other plants or organic material, that is manure. Fertilizers are prepared in factories by chemical processes. Apart that, crop rotation, in which crops are rotated in a certain sequence. For example, if you are sowing cereals, then you will sow pulses. Pulses fall in category of legume plant, that is family Leguminosae, in which they can replenish nitrogen to the soil. Apart that, mixed cropping or cow dung, etc., etc., these are the methods by which we replenish nutrients to the soil. These nutrients are mainly zinc, potassium, nitrates, organic material, etc., etc., and etc. So our chapter ends here. I am giving you an assignment, and that assignment is that you have to prepare a chart having different plants, either their picture or they themselves, and categorizing them in the categories I have just told you. Apart that, I shall provide you with question and answers of this chapter, and please do your homework, keep yourself safe, enjoy, obey your parents. God bless you. Thank you.